Hello art people, Josh here, and welcome to my very first video showing me drawing. This is my first one, so you get to enjoy the ride of the incredible awkwardness that will be this first video. So, as you see here, I am using copic markers to color in line work that I drew and inked. I used pencils first, and then inked it over. And right now what I'm doing is putting down my base skin color layer, and it's a little annoying because my inks were smudging, and this seems to happen to me typically around the eyes and nose. I'm guessing my ink is globbing or something like that, but I did let it dry for 24 hours, so you know, it's just kind of frustrating when you spend all that time on line work and then all of a sudden smudges happen. But I try to cover it up as best possible using other colors. Here is, I went down and put a first layer down with my lightest skin tone and then went over it again, and that just kind of helps fill it in better so there's no splotches, and also gives it like a one darker shade to the whole picture. And this picture I drew a skater girl with braids. I don't know why I picked a skater girl. I just thought, you know, I usually do more comic book styles, but this one's kind of in an anime style, and I thought she kind of looked cool, have an attitude, and the hat with the braids. So now I switched over to a second marker to give me a little bit more depth on the colors here, and I'm focusing on the shadows around the eyes and, you know, under the nose and the kind of around her face to give her some depth. The light you see is coming in from the left side of the picture, so that's where I'm going to try and focus the light coming in from my, you know, when I shade my markers. Now I went ahead and went another color deep, so I have 3 skin tone colors going for her, so this will just help kind of fill in the depth here on the shadows a bit more, kind of make it pop a little bit better. And what it does now is makes her skin look lighter when I put down her first layer of skin. So it kind of just adds to the effect of the lighting. And I think what I will be doing here next is her hair color. Hopefully soon. Like I said, this is going to be an awkward video because it's the first time I'm narrating myself. And what I did is I filmed this particular video using a camcorder, and I sped it up so it have a little bit of, so it wasn't 2 hours long. But now what I'm doing in the picture is I'm going back and blending the colors together. I go back with the lighter color and the lighter color over the darkest color and bring that forward into the color that was the next lightest underneath it. So it kind of gives a better blending effect. And I chose blue for the hair because, yeah, why not? You don't see blue hair that often, and I thought it'll pop pretty good with the rest of the color that I decided to give her. I left a little bit on her hair, just white from the paper, to kind of show the highlights. So that's an important thing too sometimes to do, is if you're trying to get a highlight effect, just go ahead and let that paper show through and act as the highlight. That way you don't have to go in and paint over with an actual white pen or paint. It'll just do the work for you, which the less work I have to do, the better. And yeah, I had some more smudging going on here in the braids, but again, when I put the other colors over it, I think it kind of masks it okay. Let me know if that is something that you guys experience when you're drawing. And I know there's ways to minimize it, but sometimes it just happens. So the next darkest shade I just kept with the blue. That was a little bit darker, and you know, kept in mind where the light source was coming from in the picture, from the left. I will say this isn't my best line work I've done, but you know, there's always room for improvements, and something I've been doing as I've been drawing for a while, that you know, sometimes not every picture is going to be better than the last one you did, but that's okay because you learn from it. You know, as long as you're learning from experiences that you're doing, you know, you can just get better the next time you draw, which I think is something important everybody should do, is just learn from each drawing, because you can always get better. Don't worry about being perfect all the time, because you know, sometimes I learn new techniques or a different way to do things if something doesn't go quite like I was planning for it to go, and you know, I use it on later pictures, so that's fun to do, kind of a learning process. And oh yeah, here I'm going back over doing that blending technique with the lightest color, going back from the dark color coming forward onto the lightest color that I put down. So this is the lightest blue that I based her hair color off of, and I'm going over the dark where I shaded her hair and flipping that into the light color. Just helps it blend better. Gives it some depth, some 3D-ness. 3D-ness, I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, why not? Alright, light pink color for lips, pretty basic. You know, nothing crazy there. Didn't feel like giving her any weird lipstick or anything. Green eyes for this picture. Same thing, I usually do a lighter shade of green for the base layer, and then a darker shade of green to kind of help it blend, because you know, in people's eyes, when you're looking at it, usually you have a darker color on top, so it kind of blends down lighter. It just kind of adds a little bit of effect to it, that 3D-ness I was talking about. I think for her hat here, I was going to do kind of a more intricate design, but I don't know, I was doing it for a while and I got lazy, so I just did little polka dot circles, which, you know, I think it worked okay. 2 different colors here. Some more blending. I think it kind of looks like an egg on her head. Why not? Skaters wear those type of hats, right? I didn't actually skateboard when I was a kid, so I don't have a lot of reference, but that's what I imagine a skater girl would look like. Alright, so I try to keep her color scheme fairly simple. I didn't want to get too many colors in there, just because I think it helps make the characters or the drawing you're doing, you know, more memorable if you're easy, you know, keep the color scheme simple, because now she's easily identified with, you know, yellow shirt and hat and blue hair, instead of making everything crazy. And sometimes, you know, having a lot of colors in your picture might work, but you know, for this one I just thought, you know, keep it fairly basic, just so, you know, it kind of stands out more, because if you get too much going on, people can easily forget it. And, you know, maybe I forget it anyways, because, you know, maybe I don't like the picture, but, you know, as a character, and, you know, maybe that's something to talk about at a different time, is just what the process is to go through when you design a character. But, you know, kind of keep a few things to help stand her out, like, so the braids, I have skulls in there, something it's an easily identifiable feature. So that's her skateboard. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do to make it kind of stand out as a skateboard. Normally they have that kind of grippy type of material on top. I don't know what it's called, but I know that's dark, so I wanted to kind of contrast that. So I put down a dark gray for the base and then brought an even darker gray to just make little dots in it like speckles. So it kind of gives that effect of it being a like that grippy type of material. And I'll put some more detail on it here shortly, you'll see. Here I decided just to give her a background that's blue. Just kind of goes with her hair, and to leave a small white line around the edge just because it helps it pop out a little bit more from the background because her hair is blue, so you didn't want that to get lost in there. I should have probably filled in the whole thing, but I was kind of lazy. So don't forget her studs there. And what I'll do is, this is a gel pen, white gel pen, and I'm just speckling it to kind of give that illusion of light bouncing off of it. And color in the skulls, can't forget that. Some neutral grays. Like that kind of looked like a skull color, so yeah, that works. Well, make sure to slam that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter at Drawzooka, Facebook and shop information in the description. Thanks for your time.